Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 11's twist tragedy is bigger than Kevin Costner's John Dutton IE's death. Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 11 features a shocking death that is bigger than Kevin Costner's John Dutton IE. Taylor Sheridan's neo-western hit on Paramount Network is supposedly on its last few remaining episodes, as the show wraps up in December. Despite rumors that the project will continue, the focus of Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2 thus far has been on tackling the aftermath of John's death. The loss has defined the arc thus far, as the rest of the Dutton family deal with the shock and grief over the death, not to mention the complications that come with it. In Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 9 and Episode 10, All You Need Is Desire, and the Apocalypse of Change, Sheridan has been splitting the storytelling between two timelines. The outings open with flashbacks before John's death, and the rest is devoted to what happens after. This remains the case in Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 11, 353. However, instead of Beth and Case's story dominating the plot, other players in the show are focused on, particularly those around Jamie. Ultimately, the episode ends with a game-changing death that is bigger than losing the Dutton patriarch. As Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2 expands its storytelling beyond the immediate family members of John, some supporting characters get time under the spotlight. The show has done a good job establishing how the next generation of the Dutton family deals with the complications of the ranch, with their patriarch no longer a player in the state's government. Despite John's death supposedly going to elevate Jamie in terms of power and influence, the subsequent discovery that his father was murdered instead of ending himself puts pressure on him, which ultimately jeopardizes his place as the Attorney General. This prompts him to confront his partner and crime mastermind, Sarah, about the matter, not knowing that she, too, is feeling the heat from the police department reopening the cause of John's death. The pair has a heated argument that quickly turns physical. It ends with Sarah storming out of the house, but before she can get away, Jamie calls and the pair reconcile. Sadly, what both of them don't know is that someone has already ordered a hit on Sarah. She is shot multiple times point-blank on the street while still on the phone with Jamie. Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 11 also revisits the night that John died. At the beginning of the outing, it seems like the whole outing will be devoted to the Duttons uncovering the truth about the unexpected demise of their father, especially as Case gets involved in uncovering the truth. So the shift in storytelling to focus on how the tragedy impacts Jamie is surprising, much more so when 353 ends with Sarah's murder. While she isn't a main character like John was, Costner's predetermined Yellowstone exit already floated the possibility of him dying. Meanwhile, Sarah's death is totally unexpected. Taking out Sarah, who is poised to be the ultimate villain of Yellowstone Season 5 also, significantly changes what to expect in the show's final few episodes. Beth, and even Case, have been plotting their revenge against those who killed John. With Sarah gone, Jamie will now have to suffer the brunt of the blame. Of course, it also births a new mystery, as the hunt for her killer also begins. While Beth has made it clear that she wants to kill her adversaries, it doesn't seem like she is behind the hit against Jamie's girlfriend. Yellowstone hasn't really made it clear if Jamie and Sarah's connection is genuine love. The pair's whirlwind affair has benefited both of them in different ways. As the Dutton family cast Jamie aside, he found companionship and ally with Sarah. Meanwhile, Sarah's professional life moved forward by being associated with the Montana Attorney General. As twisted and misconstrued as their relationship is, however, their final conversation hints that they care about each other. Sarah's death will undoubtedly wreck Jamie, much more so than losing John. He never really had any relationship with his dad, despite his desperation to win his approval. Things were different with Sarah, however. Now he is truly alone, and that could be how he grows his backbone. Fueled by rage and grief, Jamie will likely pin Sarah's murder on Beth, which makes their all-out war more intense and the end of Yellowstone exciting. The sun set over the sprawling plains of Montana, casting an eerie orange glow across the Yellowstone ranch. The tension in the air was palpable, a storm on the horizon, both metaphorically and literally. The air smelled of dust and rain, a perfect reflection of the chaos that had been brewing for the Dutton family for seasons. But in this pivotal episode of Yellowstone, the twist that shook viewers to their core wasn't just the death of John Dutton IA, Kevin Costner. It was the unexpected loss that would reverberate far beyond the Dutton ranch, creating a ripple effect through the entire community. The episode begins with a serene and somewhat surreal sequence of John Dutton standing on the balcony of his expansive ranch house, his eyes focused on the distant mountains. He seems reflective, haunted by the weight of the decisions he's made, the blood spilled in his name, and the legacy of the Dutton family. As the camera lingers on his weathered face, the viewer knows that John's time has come. The years of ruthless decisions and power struggles catching up with him. However, when the tragedy hits, it comes like a freight train, blindsiding the audience with its sheer unexpectedness. The setup. As the patriarch of the Dutton family, John's death had been anticipated for some time, given Kevin Costner's real-life departure from the series, and the mounting tension between him and his children. But the episode takes a sharp turn when a long-buried secret is exposed. While John's life and death are significant, the true tragedy involves the entire Yellowstone legacy, and a person whose fate intertwines with it in ways no one could have imagined. The episode sets the stage with Beth Dutton, Kelly Rayleigh, becoming increasingly unstable, as her relationship with her father has always been a complicated one, filled with love, loyalty, and an undercurrent of resentment. She has long been her father's strongest ally, but the strain between them has never been more apparent. As the tensions rise, Beth finds herself at odds not only with her father's choices, but also with the future of the ranch itself. In a flashback sequence, we learn that John's decision to maintain the Dutton legacy and hold on to the ranch at all costs came at a significant personal cost. The show has always been about sacrifice, but the revelation of who truly bore the weight of John's ambition, who took the greatest sacrifice, shocks viewers to the core. The true tragedy. Just as John Dutton II is struck down in a seemingly heroic but ultimately tragic moment, the truth behind the tragedy is exposed. The episode reveals that John's death wasn't merely the result of external enemies or power struggles. It was the outcome of a long-standing, deeply personal betrayal. In the final moments, we learn that the greatest betrayal came from within the Dutton family itself. The twist: it wasn't just John who would pay the price for the family's legacy, but someone much more unexpected. Case Dutton, Luke Grimes, John's son, has been at the center of much speculation in recent seasons, torn between his loyalty to his father and the need to protect his own family. But the revelation that Case had been orchestrating a plan to take control of the ranch for himself, unbeknownst to anyone, rocks the foundations of the Dutton dynasty. Throughout the episode, we see subtle hints that Case has been secretly undermining his father's authority, maneuvering behind the scenes to secure his own stake in the future of Yellowstone. The fact that he would take such drastic steps is both heartbreaking and believable, given the weight of the family legacy and his internal struggle.